Yeah, are we going into the second phase?
Yeah,
now?
second phase.
Time-wise,
We'll make it. We'll get through it.
I want to make sure that our participants get to have a chance to talk.
That's the first one. Obviously, these are the prototype views. Board. The city digitally. Light here. Depth here. The gardens. And this is a sketch that I made of St. Catherine, which I'm sure you know what the St. Catherine is. And Stuyvesant. And that's it. So, and if there's something up there that should be up there, we'll have to just have to imagine it up there and we'll talk about it.
We probably need to do something right at the very beginning to dispel the notion that the island was purchased for $24. That's going to come up immediately, and I don't think we have to go into that. The New York Historical Society just did a big exhibit after the year or so ago, 2 years ago.
4 years ago.
Or was it 4 years ago?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Certainly, again, a lot of these.
But it's one of those it's one of those sexy things that people keep holding on. You ask somebody, what do you know about the Dutch in Manhattan? Well, they bought for $24. That's probably the first thing they're going to come up with. Yeah. And
What was the exchange rate?
well, this is what's so nonsensical about it. The exchange rate was done in the 1880s for $24, and it's
1850s.
well,
A long time ago.
it's never been adjusted for inflation. We still, if it's the 1850s, we're still talking about 1850s value, which it wasn't. 60 guilders worth of trade goods, which is a lot of trade goods.
Which was even more, makes it more insidious because the real interpretation is, boy, those Indians were really dumb.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, that's just the worst.
Yeah, I think I have those numbers in my study.
The concept of personal property is a good example.
The price index goes up to billions of dollars. 24. Again.
was een big joke that is after the sale, the Dutch asked, hey, that got over there, is that New Jersey? To which the Indians replied, well, for $60, can you expect this to be perfect?
Not much has changed, has it?
I keep going back to little additional sort of pieces to this interactive site. And within the discussion that we've had over the last hour, two funding ideas in mind. One is asking Philip Morris to fund a portion of the project that documents the tobacco trade, agriculture, and shipping routes. And the other would be to ask ING Bank, which I believe is Dutch, to fund an interactive portion of the site that relates to the purchase of Manhattan Island exchange rates and monetary values. So,
That's fantastic.
you could segregate out each of those pieces and try to get each piece funded.
Right.
So that you're not trying to fund the whole thing.
Yeah, they have actually ING has
They sponsor them out?
they have a little cafe concept where they try to bring in people into I think it's probably still around, it's called the Orange Cafe or something like that. It's up in the 50s. And basically they try to get people into their little space, and they get Dutch coffee and you can get on the computer and they try to help lead you to their money market funds, which is it's a good concept, one that we need to think about. How do we go in there before they get to the money market funds? Maybe there's something else that we could add to their bag of tricks. Even this project in Central Park, the streamers were all orange. Must have been for a reason. There's lots of relationships that could be drawn. Are we gonna?
We need to talk about.
Well, I'm thinking, are we now at the Manhattan level?
Manhattan.
Yeah.
And what do we?
Well, we could talk if you find a sheet, the Manhattan sheet, there's a list of some potential possible topics here.
Geography again is important right in the very beginning.
Yeah, because that is
Why
Manhattan.
Manhattan?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the original choice. It was down on the Delaware River. It was Burlington Island. They thought that was Florida, that that was going to be a temperate or warm climate, and that they would never get frozen in there. But they ended up on the Governor's Island originally because it's manageable. You can put a boat around it much quicker than you can Manhattan. In 1624, there was a fort. They had a fort on Governor's Island. The same time the fort was built in Albany.
There's an interesting, I keep going back to the Jamestown website because they have thrown lots of dollars at this, and they start out with a Discovery Channel movie, and they've got, it just come up every time I go back to the website, there's something new. They have a video of kids dancing with music that relates to that particular period. A lot of the movies could be adapted here.
Okay, my ancestors come from Jamestown, and I find that the most annoying sight because I find something there, I want to go back and look at some more, and it's gone. And they have replaced it with something new. So there's another point of view on that. I'm sorry, that's just a spontaneous response. It makes me
Did
nuts.
anybody see that article in the New York Times some time ago comparing Jamestown and Manhattan?
What about when the ship landed?
No, it's just about the importance of the relative importance. of the two.
really?
Yeah, he goes on to say, well, there are only two people living in Jamestown right now, the curators, I guess. That's in Manhattan.
But they do have something just that you're talking about. I just discovered it last night, early in the morning when I couldn't sleep. They have this discovery with a map and the ship, and you can click on the ship, and they have it's a game. Basically, you're deciding, well, okay, if I was that colonist, where would I land? Would it be on the mainland in Manhattan? Would it be on Governor's Island? Would it be in Staten Island? Again, I'm just adapting. They're using their own geography, but it's an interesting concept where they're actually using animation
Actually, if you would
make this work.
virtually redo the voyage of Hudson, I think most kids would run aground before even entering the lower bay.
Say that again?
I think if you would make a game out of Hudson's voyage up the Hudson, I think most kids would run their ship aground before even entering the lower bay. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a fantastic idea, though. I mean, how
So they
fun
can
is
try-
that?
They can try again.
Absolutely.
That's the idea.
To take up route stories, on a website, I think you should add material. not
Yeah, no,
Take it off.
I agree.
But then-
Just continually add.
Right.
But then if you have temporary exhibits at a physical location, you can make those into website components. And thus have all the previous exhibits on your website.
Right.
That would take away your
that would take away my angst. A lot of websites keep stuff down.
Well, again, that's an issue. How big of a website can you build, and what does it cost in terms of the actual server space? And is that an issue that we need to be
You can
concerned
keep
about?
adding, so you can keep building.
You start small anyway. I don't
I don't think that's an issue.
think that is any issue at all.
I'm feeling much better already.
And the fact that you're spreading it out also means that you can finance each component as it comes along.
But you do need to maintain the structure of the website.
Exactly.
And the software bridges. It has to be important for